another thing that you can do as I'm making this beat, I'm gonna work on this a little bit here. So, see no hands, stop, start back up, because I'm using a foot switch. Now, within the system mode, you can go into the panel and assign it to either do this, stop, start, or have it do the loop, or have it only loop between markers, or you can use the sustain pedal. I like to do a little bit of both. When I'm doing linear editing, I like to use it as a stop and start button like this, and then I just use my mouse to take it back to the top, and that gives me a little rest off of that play button. You play and your play stop, or you record and your record and play functions don't get beat up as much, right? So in this particular thing, right, I'm doing right now, messing around with these drums, and I got them feeling the way I want them to feel, right? So this, and we're gonna take this. I got this hi hat pattern in here. I give a shout out to Mr. Baker, man. I will be showing the screen when I'm not exercising this top-down flow. This was just to actually show the new way I got it set up as far as the signal flow is concerned. Everything is coming through here. But one thing that I like about the MV-1000 is that right now I'm using it as the sequencer, the drum machine, and the recording environment. And as part of that, I'm using it as an effects module. So how do I mean? I'm gonna hit effects right now. It's on the input. Right now, it's on my regular stereo dynamic module. So how do I mean? I'm gonna hit effects right now. It's on the input. Right now, it's on my regular stereo dynamics processor. But what I wanna do is to move it to the, let's get this up a little bit. What I want to do is isolate these. So let's solo all this stuff out. And what we're going to do is apply that 4-button chorus that I like to make this stuff sound nice and pretty. Yes. So I got that Dimension D 4-button chorus coming on the input to bring the whole keyboard part. Everything coming from the Integra is now going through that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record that just like that, just those particular ones onto an audio track with those effects. Now I'm also going to throw some other stuff on here, but we want to get that recorded just like that. I'm going to put a little bit of juice on it, just a little, just wake up the mic breeze a little bit. And let's stop it with my foot here. Get off of this page. So now we got that one on audio track 1 affected the way I like it to be affected. Now, what I'll also do is I'm going to pull the mixer up, and I'm going to route that audio track to a little bit of the global reverb that's available. Audio track 1. Let's send some of this signal to the reverb. Let's send half of it to the reverb. Let's send some to the delay as well. Alright. This is the way to make this sound lush and not have to actually recall or call up the M effects. So now I've recorded one track of the keyboard part. So now I got that track affected the way I need to be affected. And if I go into pattern mode, I'll be able to record all this into a pattern. So let's just put it right there. So now it's alright. We got 2 more pads in the L. We got 15, 11, and 12. So now we'll lock that in on that one. That pattern is locked in over there. We'll come out of pattern mode. Take a few more things out. Took a couple of the hi-hat patterns out. Empty out the track a little bit. And I'm going to copy this one as a pattern. So copy his new pattern. Just like that. Let's name this one Loft 2. Now, what I like to do once I start getting patterns together, let's get one more in here. And now we got them all together. So now, once I can chain those 3 into a pattern, those are the 3 basic patterns that I would start with. One with nothing but drums and effects, another with the keyboard parts and the whole entire composition, and another dropping out certain percussive parts to make it empty a little bit. We'll line those up, and then we'll go into linear mode, and we'll start taking out little blocks of that, like a snare here, a drop out here, a 808 here, and we'll start to get to flesh out what the whole composition looks like. But later for that. I've been using this thing as an effects processor just for the keyboard. So now I'm going to take it out of that mode because you don't want to stay in chorus mode. So now that I've already recorded that like this, I can actually take it out and get the same feel. So check it out. I'm going to put it back into my normal playback mode, which is usually through the stereo dynamics processor, which is kind of a shaper, man. It has so many properties. I'll put my screen up next time to show you some of my favorites. Right now, let me see what it's on. If I go to edit, it's kind of cranked up, so I'm going to crank it down. I only crank it up 2 levels. The threshold at 24, or the 20, 24, and the ratio at 2:1. And the enhancer is in there mixed up. The EQ, I usually pump up the low a little bit and turn the high to a peak, level a little bit. so it can see how we sound now. All right, that's what we got. Let's go to the mixer. Mix. Get the EQ. I like that part. Even the EQs on here is kind of cool. Pick that stuff up. Alright. And now we can crank it up a little bit when we need to. So let's put that back down. Alright. So that's where I'm at with that one.